How's it going, folks? Just thought I'd do a quick little update clip just showing you a couple of things we're picking around the place and what I'm up to. Yeah, so it is going to be a very short one, probably a little bit shaky as well. So I'll flip the camera around and give you a bit of a gander at what's growing on and what I'm harvesting. So to begin with, we're very happy with these veggie pods and the way I've turned them into wicking beds. As you can see, we have some Chinese broccoli there, or kailan, that has gone to flower. That's fine, we'll just use that in a bit of a salad or something like that. And these smaller heads I'm going to nip off tonight to pop into a bit of a stir fry. Got some small heads there that we want to nip off as well. This is the broccolini. It's supposed to be the broccolini, the precursor to the broccolini, which is a hybrid. We're starting to get some small heads down in there. So we're about to be overrun by brassicas. Oh, apparently you can use these leaves as well. So that's something we've nipped a few off for already and tossed in a stir fry just to see how they go. And they're all right. Down here, the broccoli. Broccoli's coming along nicely. And today I'm about to nip my first head off. So I might just go and grab the scissors. So harvesting these guys isn't exactly rocket science. What I'd normally use is a knife, but I can't find my downstairs knife. So what I'm going to do is just cut below the head. It comes off easily enough. A nice crisp little stalk there. So this one here is going in tonight's dinner, and just to show you, you can see how the little heads are starting to separate. It was probably ripe or really spot on to harvest last night, but we let it go another day. We had a rather nice bok choy from the aquaponics to feast on last night, with the remainder going in with this broccoli tonight. And yeah, I'm not too sure if we'll have all this broccoli, but we'll manage a couple of little trees in the meal. Now this broccoli, for you folks who aren't aware, I'll put a link to my broccoli growing clip up there. But yeah, these guys normally throw off little side shoots all the way along. So once you've harvested your main head, please don't pull out your broccoli plant, because she's going to keep on giving you loads of little side shoots for weeks, if not months to come, depending on your climate, of course. Check out the clip, it explains it better. So yeah, that's the first little harvest for tonight. While I've got you set up on the tripod, I might harvest a few of these other ones as well. I'm just taking off the top of this kailan because there's another little head forming there. And this one here, the same thing. They look to form the little side shoots the same as broccoli, just from the leaf junctions. So I'll try and leave as many of them on as I can. And these guys have a really tender stalk as well, so you can dice them up and throw that in your stir fry as well. And like I said, I'm going to leave the ones over the back with the flowers on them for now, and we'll try those out in a salad later on. There's another one down here as well. So just 4 little heads to begin with, and a little flower or two. Like most brassicas, the young leaves are very tasty, and these stems just cut through so easy, so they're going to be nice and crisp to toss in the stir fry as well. So I'll add them to the basket. So just to give you a bit of a look at what I was doing this afternoon, just sieving some soil to top up 2 new wicking beds. It came from the old galangal bed down the back there. Actually broke my compost sieve that I was using just to make sure there was no galangal roots left in the soil. So I'm going to have to repair that before I do the rest, because I don't really want any galangal roots popping up in here after I plant it out with other plants. And yes, my ginger is looking very sad. That's because we're in winter down here. So not far into winter, but yeah, far enough along that the gingers are starting to die back. And if you look over here, you can see what looks like a very sad patch, but it's all the turmeric has started to die off. That's the black turmeric. And yes, Charles, I did say I was going to harvest it this week. I definitely will hook into it, and I'll probably post a bit of a turmeric harvest clip to you YouTube. That's just some horse manure I'm letting age, because I want to make sure there's no nasties in there. And that will be going down here in a compost cage that is yet to be built. And I'll be composting a lot of bits and pieces from around the patch with it, including those weed trees over there after I mulch them. Just down here we have the kohlrabi and a broccoli bed. We've got some nice little bulbs forming on those kohlrabi. And this one around here, I think we'll be ready to harvest in probably about a week or maybe 2 weeks' time. We've got the typical volunteers popping up in here, the warrigal greens, and I have a sneaking suspicion that will be a broad ripple yellow currant tomato. So we're just going to let those guys go for now. And we have a couple of broccoli in here as well. Over here, our Paul zucchinis. They're not handling the cold too well. I really do need to tidy them up. I think if I just take off the older leaves, give it a bit of a spray with some fungus or mold inhibitor, yeah, they should come good again. I did notice this morning though that we had a Queensland fruit fly still trying to lay eggs in this large zucchini down here, and I dare say she managed to lay some eggs in there. You can see a bit of a sap line down there. We have been trying to get a couple of these zucchinis to grow large because Bianca likes to treat them like a marrow, cut them down the middle and stuff them and then roast them. So that's what I've been trying to do, but unfortunately if I let them grow too big, the fruit flies keep hitting them. And just down in here you can probably tell they've done the same with that fruit there. So it just hasn't been cold enough this autumn or winter to knock all the fruit flies on the head, so they're still around. I really need to pick the fruit when they're about that size at the moment. So even this one here looks like it fruited a few days ago. Yeah, she's been hit as well. Just down the bottom there you might be able to make out. So I might just pull this one off and throw it in the bin because we definitely don't want any fruit flies. And yeah, I might come and grab these off as well while I'm here. Toss them in the basket. These larger ones down here that have been blown, I'll just take them off, and you can either solarize them, put them in something black that heats them up and cooks the little grubs, or you can yeah, just throw them in the garbage bin. The other plants down here, you can see our Australian native ginger. It's still going okay, hasn't died back like the turmeric or the ginger. And this is our cardamom that was rescued from the aquaponics, and it's doing okay. Some of the other plants that aren't doing too well in the cold are the mushroom herb down here. The ones in the soil aren't doing any good, but the ones in the aquaponics are okay. And this mint down here, it's holding on. Pretty much we'll just put the mushroom herb there so I could water it and save the water down into the mint. But we have a load of mint somewhere else in the veggie pod, so I'm not too worried about if we lose that plant there. And over here we have our garlic bed, but you can't really tell for the dill. I just put 3 little plantings along the front here and it's done really well. Bianca keeps threatening to come down and harvest a load of this and dry it out for the pantry. Hasn't happened yet, so I might have to gazumper and hop in and do some in the next couple of days. But the garlic, yeah, it's doing okay. I think I've had better crops, but then again it is being shaded out by this dill here, so maybe if we cut that back it might put on a bit better growth. Oh, something I forgot to show you with the veggie pods is a little cluster of beetroot down there. Underneath the broccoli, I planted out a load of beetroot seedlings, so they're starting to come through. I just noticed we have a weird looking growth off the bottom of that broccoli with another head. I don't know if that's another plant or something that's happened there. But anyway, can't really complain about that. So yeah, we should have some beetroot out of here soon as well to roast in the oven. I just thought I'd quickly show you this veggie pod here. We've got a load of mint in here and a couple of lemongrasses. We were starting off for a mate but haven't got around to potting up for him. And some Chinese red shallots. And we have our perennial leeks. We gave some of these to some friends of ours and none of ours survived while we were out for the renovation, so they've given us some back. Around the back here you can see a couple of the pups from the perennial leeks, so they'll be broken off and planted out in those new wicking beds I'm putting together. And of course you can see the mint. That mint's growing from the front corner over there in the veggie pod, and it's just taking over the whole thing. So I think we might just leave this as our mint bed for now. We'll pull these other bits and pieces out come spring and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that little bit of a look. A little bit of a small harvest for tonight. Oh, and I did have someone ask what is underneath here. This is a bit of a compost barrel at the moment. Have a few bits and pieces in there we're trying to break down because we don't have a worm farm as such at the moment. We do have worms in the beds and that sort of thing, but nothing just as a dedicated worm farm. Trying to attract them through the base of the barrel, then we can harvest them, put them in our worm farm. If not, I'm going to hit up Brian the worm man, g'day Brian, and buy a couple of worms off him to start off the bathtub farm. But yeah, I suppose I should probably stop nattering on. The sun's already gone down behind the house over the road, and I'll get these goodies up and yeah, start getting some dinner knocked together. So just one final look at the small harvest. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a quick catch up, folks. I will do an update on the aquaponics and how it's just running. probably next weekend. I did actually visit a retired commercial aquaponics farm through the week out at Alan and Amy's place. G'day folks. And I've got a clip I've shot for that. I don't know if you'll see that before this goes up or after this goes up, but anyway, check it out if you're into aquaponics. It may interest you. A special thanks for you folks over on the Farm Your Own Yard website and also on the YouTube membership program. Thank you for the support, folks. But I'm going to leave it there. Hope you're all well and happy, and I'll catch you later. Cheers, folks. Happy growing.